Hi YouTubers, it's your girl Shannon from Evie and Chill, and today I'm going to show you a DIY project. We are going to do these calipers in red. We're going to start from the beginning in a little bit here, but you guys, a few weeks ago you saw that I made the calipers on my Tesla Model 3 red. I mean, J3 even has red calipers on his Ferrari, so of course I had to join the club. I had to have red calipers too. So that's what we're going to do today. We are going to walk through how I did this and what product I used. But before we get there, we have to stop, and I'm really proud of my work. Let's watch a quick, sexy montage of these calipers. About what product we used, and I use this one right here. It's the Dupli-Color caliper paint. This thing is like less than 30 bucks, and it comes with pretty much everything you need. It has the caliper paint, a cleaner, a stir stick for the paint, and it also comes with a paintbrush. But let me share some tips and tricks with you guys. When you get that paintbrush, pick it up, look at it, and then toss it. You don't want to use that paintbrush. To be honest, it is crap. I started using that paintbrush and then I learned my lesson. The paintbrush, the bristles just come off right in the paint, and then you have bristles in your calipers and it's a mess. You'll have to scrape it off and start over. So tip number one, just buy your own paintbrush, go to Walmart, go to Michael's, get a pack. I actually ended up using a lot of like our son J3's arts and crafts paintbrushes. I used those and it worked out really well. Okay, and for less than 30 bucks, you guys, it's not professional, but I think this looks really, really good. I've had this on for about a week now, and I've gotten so many compliments. I think against the red, it really pops. I think I must have a thing for red. I mean, look at my outfit today. Okay, and also against the blue, it goes with my blue eyes, so it is popping. Let's go back, let's jump into when things first started, when we didn't have the red caliper paint on. Let's start from the beginning, and let's go there now. The first few steps are probably pretty self-explanatory, but step 1 and 2 are to take the tire off and jack up that car. Step number 3, clean that caliper with the included cleaner. And you guys, make sure you hide your kids and hide your wife because those fumes are strong. And step number 4, we're gonna need to tape off the section of the wheel that's gonna be closest to the paint because of course we wanna keep it clean. And then before we start painting, we need to stir it, so just whip it. Whip it real good. Then bringing out the brushes. These are brushes that came from J3's Arts and Crafts kit. Now I'm gonna use a wider bristle brush to start with so I can cover a lot of section here. And then I'm gonna go down to a finer bristle brush so I can get the smaller parts. And then lastly, I'm gonna use the foam brush, and hopefully that'll kind of hide some of the bristle marks from the previous coats. But we're gonna do 3 coats total, and once we get to that last coat, then we're gonna put on our Mustang vinyls and then give it a clear coat just to seal it all in. So we are working on the first coat right now, and I'm using the wider bristle brush so I can get maximum coverage. And I'm just trying to make some really thin, even coats. And the paint is surprisingly really thick, but I'm gonna try to make these coats as even as possible, and then I'll show you guys a close-up in a second. Looking pretty good so far. I'm trying to keep it like as thin of a coat as possible. You can still see a lot of like the brush strokes in there. We're gonna do our last coat with this brush since there's no bristles in it. Hopefully it'll give it like a smoother, more professional finish. Hopefully it'll look like it's been sprayed. We'll see. But I think my thin coats are kind of working out so far, even though it is super thick. I'm gonna have to go in with the finer brush in a minute here just to do these little bits like in here, up in here. That'll need a fine brush. Maybe even just like the outer edge of this circle we'll use the fine brush. And then we'll wait 15 minutes once we have our first coat done, and then we'll go again. Our first thin red coat is done, and I almost want to make a history joke there because red coats. Okay, but our first coat is done. I think it looks pretty good. I think that looks pretty thin. You can still, again, see those brush strokes there, but that paint is really thick. Okay, we're gonna let this dry. I've got my timer set. We're going for 15 minutes. Let's go ahead and start it. Okay, so we will do another coat once it dries in 15 minutes. 15 minutes has elapsed. It sounds like a game show, right? 15 minutes has elapsed. Okay, but here we are. Okay, it is looking pretty good, I think. Tell me what you think. Drop it in the comments below. This is first coat. Okay, it's pretty dry. I'm just lightly touching it here. And we don't have any like residue or any paint coming off. So we are gonna go ahead, we're gonna start our second coat. You can see it is pretty thin in some spots and then a little bit thicker in others, like it's really thin right here, a little bit thicker up here. So let's go ahead, let's continue to even it out. And you can see I definitely missed some spots, like up in here. I'm definitely gonna have to use the fine brush to get in there. But overall, I think it's pretty good. I don't see like too many drips or too many gloppy spots. So I don't want to say like I'm professional, but I'm liking how this is looking so far. Okay, let's keep going. Let's take a look at the second coat now that it is dry. And you guys, I'm really liking how this is turning out. It looks so different than the original color. Okay, this is only 2 coats here like you saw. You still notice definitely like some of the brush strokes here. Maybe across this part you notice the brush strokes. But I feel like it's really kind of like evening out here. The coverage is looking pretty good for the most part. Now I'm gonna try to do one more coat. It's gonna be our third coat. And for the third coat, I'm gonna use this foam brush here. So hopefully that will like, you know, get rid of the lines that were in these 2 paintbrushes. Oh, that's so cute, they're sticking together. Okay, hopefully that will get rid of the lines. And then I hope that'll be our final coat. So let's go ahead, let's get started on our last one, and we'll see if we'll be done. It's now a few days later. What happened? I know. I put on that final coat, I went inside, and you guys, I fell asleep. I know, I fell asleep, I really did. Okay, so I woke up, then I had to make dinner, then it was bedtime. So we ended up popping the tire on real quickly. So I've actually been driving around on these tires. I've been driving around with these calipers just like this. So today we're gonna finish. I've got the tire off. I've got these vinyl Mustangs. I got these right off eBay for like $6. We're gonna use the big ones. The small ones are for the back. But these big ones, I think the T, I think that is like our center point. We're gonna put the T like right here. I feel like that's kind of like the center area. So once the Mustang is put on, then we'll do our final coat. We'll use this clear coat right here. That way it'll give it a little bit of sparkle, a little bit of shimmer. It'll kind of be like my personality. Then we'll be done. That is it. I've already like cleaned these off. I've got our bags put on so the like clear coat doesn't get on this area. Let's go ahead, let's put our Mustangs on. Let's put the ponies on the pony, and then we'll do that clear coat. So let's just peel it up, and it just peels right off. If you can see here, the plastic part that has the actual sticker part on it, that vinyl part, we're just gonna peel it right up. Now let's go ahead, let's figure out our placement. So let's go ahead, let's put this on. I'm gonna try to put the T like right in the center of those two circular cutout areas. Okay, let's take a quick look. I don't want it to be too far down, so I'm gonna move it forward just a little bit. Here we go, we're putting it on. I think I have it like where I want it to be. I think that looks good. I think that looks pretty centered. I've got the placement on where I want it to be. I'm just gonna rub it down so it sticks here. Well, that is it. These are the red calipers, and you guys, the vinyl Mustangs just really add just a little something extra, and I can't help it because you guys, sometimes I am a little extra too, but it's okay. I think I'm the whole package. It works, just like the new calipers. Okay, something else I learned, if you guys can do it all at one time, it'll really save you a lot of trouble. Like I told you earlier, I did a whole bunch of the red coats, and then I had to drive on it for a few days, so then I had like brake dust on the caliper, so you really had to like wipe all of that off, and it is really hard to get every grain of like dust off. So if you can do it all at one time, that is what like the best thing to do is. Okay, but overall it looks really great. They pop so much, and I think I saved like a lot of money doing it myself. Again, it's not 100% perfect, it's not professional, but if I were to go out and to have these done, it would be $100 per caliper. So for less than 30 bucks, I'm happy with the results. Let me know if you are too. I'd love to find out. Drop me a comment below. Does it look good? Yes or no? And let me know if you would do it yourself. Well, that's all I've got for now. Thanks for watching, and if you've watched up to this point, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. It helps my channel to grow. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you next time.